Is it enough anymore? In order to cut through, a band needs to have a USP, a selling point, or, to put it another way, a gimmick. Now, here's the thing, Moose. I'm putting you on the spot here. I've spent a long time thinking about this, and I'm now putting you on the spot. Of the last 20 years, right? Name me all the bands who have come out and appeared in our scene in the last 20 years who have gone on to bona fide, arena-filling, main stage at download headlining level. 20 years.
In the last 20 years, so Sevenfold's out. Sleep Token, obviously. I think that was actually a stat. That would you classify Linkin Park because they were was it 2000?
Hybrid Theory was 2000.
Hybrid Theory is 2000, but they released in the 1990s. So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Aside from Sleep Token, if that's specific criteria of headlining download,
I can think of two bands, and one of them hasn't done it yet. Bring Me and Sleep Token.
But Bring Me's pre-2000 in the last 20 years. Are they not?
No, their first release was, I think, 2005.
Or was it? Okay, fair enough. Right. See, once again, time's like, yeah. It was a long, yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, Bring Me, Sleep Token.
Yeah, I think Bring Me's first actual release was, I think it was either 2004 or 2005.
Right.
So, and this is just in our scene, right? Bona fide festival headliners. I can think of two that have come out. Now, in popular music, there's a lot more artists who've got really, really big and huge and all that kind of thing. But for just two artists in our entire scene, and this is very UK-centric because we are in the UK, I realise that, if you look at that Hellfest lineup, there's, in fact, let's have a look at that new Hellfest lineup, because European festivals would have a lot of different bands headlining. Let's see, Hellfest have got Korn, Muse, Scorpions, Linkin Park. Well, none of those are in the last 20 years. Electric Callboy are headlining one of the stages, so yes, they would be within the last 20 years. Within Temptation, maybe. Falling in Reverse are headlining one of the stages, so maybe we're getting... Thing is, if you count bands who are getting there to that level, we've got a few. Falling in Reverse, I know that you and Pete had that discussion about, they had an incredibly well-sold arena tour that sadly didn't end up happening, but still, they may well be able to do it. Electric Callboy, I think they're a little bit too much of a divisive, again, I don't want to use the word novelty, but they're getting there, yeah, and that's not many bands at all. But then, for all of those that we've just talked about there, what's the one thing they've got in common? They all have a gimmick that helps them in the 21st century with online virality and cutting through. Are we now at the stage where bands have to have a gimmick of some kind to cut through? And you might think, Bring Me haven't got a gimmick. No, and this is why I've got so much respect for them. They made one out of all the shit that they were fed. So Sleep Token, they have their mass. They went hugely viral from some incredible music, and they have the chops to back it up. They're such incredible musicians. And they've got the songs. So, yeah, Sleep Token, okay. You might think, Bring Me, what's their gimmick? They made their gimmick out of being hated.
Yeah, I know, they did. I always remember that concert. I went to go see them. Did I go with you?
Yes.
When they were at was it the GIMMICK?
It was the GIMMICK in Manchester. Devil Driver, Bring Me, and Machine
Head. And Bring Me were the middle, weren't they? And just basically, man, they took it, and Ollie, to his credit, just told everybody to right off.
He just flipped the bird to absolutely everyone. And Bring Me were bottled at Leeds and Reading when Slipknot pulled out. They have had so much stick. They were ignored by the mainstream metal press for so long. they were just discounted as these emo kids playing deathcore, and they took that and made it their own. They made, out of this kind of disdain that the industry had for them, they made that into their gimmick, and they have run with it, and they are doing incredibly well, and I'm so happy to see them doing so well. But that is their gimmick, okay? And then you look at Fallen in Reverse. Well, they've got Ronnie Radke. Just arguing with people online is obviously his gimmick. Electric Callboy, who we mentioned earlier, they obviously have the whole rave metal thing.
Yeah, it's a particular sound, though.
That is a particular sound.
Yeah.
So are we at the stage now where, in order to cut through all of the hundreds of thousands of other songs that are released every day, where a band has to have some kind of gimmick? Otherwise, you just won't get seen. And I think about some of the bands that I absolutely love, like A Day to Remember, like Bleed From Within, who've just dropped a new track last week, In Place of Your Halo, and it's a phenomenal song. However, here's the thing. Bleed From Within, I saw them on stage at Download this year. They are incredible, but they are a group of very talented musicians who play music. Who play great music that is heavy as balls and is just great, that I want to listen to. Is that enough anymore?
Well, I mean, yes, if you get noticed. Do you know what I mean? So are you saying the only way you're going to get noticed is if you have some sort of hook? You got to have some sort of hook. And is it just being great musicians and being a great band? Is that enough anymore?
Is that enough? Well, but here's the thing as well. With the two examples that I can think of bands who've really gone from, in the last 20 years, they've appeared and gone on to arena headlining level. Parkway Drive are almost there. They are almost there, and hopefully we'll see Parkway headlining a massive stage near us sometime soon. But Sleep Token Bring Me, in order to get to the level that they're at, they have both had to not only court, but kind of put one foot into the mainstream. Sleep Token managed to do this brilliantly by going super viral with The Summoning. You know, sexy metal, baddiecore, thank you, copyright Craig Reynolds, is such a great name to describe it. But by going so incredibly viral, that's how they got out there and got their name out there, got their image out there, got their music out there, by going hugely viral. Bring Me, of course, went super, super mainstream with their music, while still maintaining a little bit of rock edge in there. And then they decided to go back metal again. Brilliant. But that's still kind of, you know, because they were rejected by the mainstream metal media and, sadly, Download Festival for so long, they just went, fine, screw you, we're going to do Reading and Leeds. And they built an alternative fan base there, which they're now huge, and fair play to them. See, I'm not having a go at any of the bands that we're mentioning here because I love them all dearly. But they've had to court the mainstream in order to get to the level where they're at right now. Sleep Token did that with Virality online, and that's the thing. So where does this end? Or is it the fact that it's just the natural human urge to create will ensure that it doesn't end?
I don't think it will. I think people will always still believe in a dream and go for it. It's people are doing it. They are. So they're not going to give up.
Wow.
I would be deeply saddened if they did.
Yes, that would.
If they gave up on their dreams. I mean, man, ugh. Yeah, that's a sad thing.
And the irony is now that we have AI that's come in that is capable of analysing artworks and then creating all the artwork. When I said I wanted robots to come in and do the crappy jobs, what I meant was robots to come in and empty the dishwasher and do my laundry, leaving me free to do more creative endeavours, not for the robots to come in and do all the artwork jobs. I mean, you try getting a job in creative now. we didn't want the robots to do all those jobs, meaning that we all had to go empty dishwashers ourselves. That wasn't the idea.
Primordial Radio.